Hi there, it's the Passionate Spinner. My name is Tracy. This is episode 147. It's going to be another very short episode today, but I wanted to share all of my hand spun with you that I finished within the last week because I've been very passionate about spinning and I spun a lot and I finished a lot and plied a lot, and I want to show it to you because some of these are not going to stay with me, and yeah, I just wanted to share. So I'm gonna just pick the skeins up, talk about them, and then that's gonna be the episode. It's only about hand spun. So if you're not interested in spinning, it's not the one for you. Now let's start. The first thing that I finished was this double set of singles. It was a 8-ounce braid, and it was I think it's a merino and super bright nylon. And this is very sparkly. It is a very sparkly yarn. And I spun this to be worsted weight singles. As you can see, this is not plied. It's just a single. It's worsted weight. It was really fun to spin. I love spinning singles. And I have all of my tags and notes here. So I'm going to just have to find the right ones. Where is it? Probably here. Nope. Nope. This one then. Okay. So altogether, I have 407 meters, that's 445 yards and 197 grams. So it's really nice, true worsted. Like I said, singles. I just love spinning singles. I've always enjoyed it. And I kind of think that these two could make a beautiful contrast sleeve for the Monsieur Plastique sweater by Stephen West. But I'm not sure if it's enough. So yeah, we will see what happens to these. I'm not quite sure where I got the fiber from. I think it was a German dyer, but I don't remember which one, and I do not have a tag for this. So yeah, that's the first finished spin. 2 skeins of a worsted weight single. I spun these on my sidekick with a very big whirl. I have no idea about the ratio, but it's a big one. So that was that. And if you are interested in spinning singles, I have done a class for fiber school for spinning singles, and I would do another one or film a tutorial for my Patreon. So yeah, the singles, they're done. Then after I finished these, I decided to ply a few things that were finished forever. I just didn't ply them. So the first thing I plied was this skein of yarn. I spun this last year while I was away for a spinning retreat, the one where I should be right now that had been canceled. But yeah, this is it. It's another 8-ounce braid. This one is from Piratenwolle, a German indie dyer. It's 240 grams, or it was 240 grams. What is it now? 222 grams, because I had quite a bit left on one bobbin and I didn't want to do the Andean bracelet because I just don't like doing that. And this is a superwash merino and nylon. I got 510 meters, that's 558 yards, and like I said, 222 grams. And I could knit socks out of this. Could. Probably won't though. But yeah, this is this yarn. The other yarn that I just had to ply is this yarn here. This one is called Last Unicorn. The fiber was a pencil roving with, as you can see, there's glitter in here, from Autumnal. This is her thing. It's Autumnal. And this is 90% superwash merino, 10% stellina. And I ended up with 478 meters. That's 522 yards, and it's 203 grams. And I think this turned out really, really pretty. So the colors here are more accurate than when I hold them up. So that's the other skein that just had to be plied. But, you know, I hate plying. Plying is so boring. But, yeah, I just sat down with my mini spinner, the Hansen mini spinner, and just plied for 3 days. So not on this skein, you know, in total. So that was that. Tags can go in there. The other yarn that just waited for plying is a yarn that I started. I think this is my oldest spinning UFO. This was, the two skeins I just showed you were both spun on my Ashford Joy, which is my travel wheel, and plied on the mini spinner. Everything is plied on the mini spinner. This skein here is a 2-ply lace weight. I spun this yarn on my Maya Craft. Is it Maja Craft or Maya Craft? I spun this on my Rose. And as you can see, like I said, it's a 2-ply lace weight. It took forever to spin. I weirdly enjoyed it. You know, I don't like spinning thin. This is from Dripping Fiber Studios. And it is a 80-20 superwash merino and cashmere blend in the Victor colorway. And this one, where is that one? You know, I do have these little things here. Here it is. So 2-ply lace weight. I got 541 meters. That's 591 yards for 114 grams. So an actual lace weight. And I wonder if this might be enough to knit a filigree tee by Julie Knits in Paris. Because I've made one with a skein of yarn that had 680 meters or something like that. And I had leftovers of that one. So maybe, just maybe, this could be enough. But I don't know. So yeah, that is this yarn. And then onto the yarns that I, no, not yet. Then because I still thought I was going to go to this spinning retreat, so I needed to clear off my bobbins, you know. And a lot of the yarns that I just had shown you were spun on the Joy. So I needed my Joy bobbins empty so I could go to the spinning retreat with all empty bobbins. So I did one of my leftover yarns where I just like doing the Andean bracelet. It's not, I just like doing the thing, you know, plying off of it, not a problem. But I cut off circulation, I went too tight or I went too loose and I just don't like it. So I usually end up with a bit of leftover, you know, sometimes it's just a meter or two, sometimes it's a bit more. And about once a year, I make a skein of leftover yarn that I just ply all of these leftover bits and bobs together. And so far I've knit a poncho out of these skeins and a sweater. And I'm starting to, you know, gather them again. So this is my leftover skein for this year. And this is 156 meters, 170 yards and 77 grams. And this was, I had bobbins from all of my wheels to put into this one, which is good because it shows me that I actually do use all of them, you know, and the overall yarn I would say is a DK weight, but it varies from a fingering to a worsted, but it never was a problem when knitting these up. So that's the leftover skein. And then I finally got around and started new things. So the first fiber I spun up was this one. I had one bobbin finished and the other one needed to be spun. And this was the first yarn I spun on my relatively new Tom Walter Nikki spinning wheel that I got used from a friend. So where is that? It's here. So this fiber here was from Into the Worlds. It was one of their fiber clubs from November 2012. You know, this has been in my stash for a while. I have no idea how to say this, and I'm not sure what it means, but it is a Corriedale fiber. It's spun beautifully, and like I said, the first yarn from my new wheel. My skein is a bit, not sure what I did with this one, but the colors are beautiful. They're very autumnal, I think. And I didn't do my math. Ooh, so about 220 meters. And I'm guessing that's like 250 yards and 111 grams. That's this skein of yarn. It's a DK worsted-ish yarn. And yeah, that was also everything plied on the mini spinner, and this one spun on the Nikki. And then I decided to spin on my Luette S45, which is one of my favorites. And I got out Rolex. They were from Knit Spin Love. That's the tag. They are Polworth and silk, and I have to say, they were wound, you know, they were rolled, the Rolex themselves. They were so tight that it was hard to draft sometimes. But this is the yarn I ended up with. I don't know the colorway name. I think it might have been Fruit Loops or something, but I also think this is quite autumnal. And with this yarn, I got 260 meters. That's right. 295 yards and 123 grams. It turned out quite nice, but as you can see, because the drafting was not the easiest to do, I have these bigger slips in here. Where is one that I can actually show you? Like here. You see that white one? Or here? I'm not a big fan of that. I like my yarns to be very even. So yeah, that was this skein of yarn. Like I said, spun on the S45 by Luette and plied on the mini spinner. And now the last yarn. It's a yarn that I finished yesterday. I spun this on the Sidekick because I'm making an effort to use all of my wheels. And this fiber here is one of the fibers that I had put aside for the retreat, and it's still a bit wet, so I have to hang it up to dry after this. The fiber I used was 50-50, I think merino and silk. It's from a German dyer called Filzlinge. I bought it at a knitting festival that has been disbanded, I think is the word. And this is 183 meters. That's 200 yards exactly, and it weighs 81 grams. And I think this is gorgeous, and I really want to make a hat out of it. On the other hand, you know, 50-50 merino silk is not a very good yarn for a hat because it's not bouncy enough. You know, it will not spring back. So I might make a cowl instead, because for that one, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that was the last skein spun on the Sidekick, plied on the mini spinner, and the first one that I had planned to spin at the retreat. I have all the fiber that I wanted to take to this retreat is in a blue box with wheels. It's my Winnie the Pooh box that I take to every spinning retreat with me because I love it. And I'm going to spin all of that fiber in the next few days, hopefully, because that's what I had planned on doing anyways. Also, I'm wearing a hand knit sweater all out of hand spun yarn. It's the Palette Cleanser by Susanne Sommer, who is So Sue Knits. Just, you know, to round everything up. And I'm gonna show you all of it together because I'm really happy with it. And I'm just so happy that I finally want to spin again because it's been forever since I wanted to spin. And now I have an armful of yarn to show you. And all of this was done in, I think, 10 days. 10 days ago was when I decided to get out my spinning wheels again and get going. So yeah, there has been a little knitting done, of course, and no sewing, but I've been spinning, so I think that's good enough for me. Yeah, I'm not sure when I will be back with you. I'm not sure how the next podcast episode will look like, but we'll just take it as it works. Like I said, I might do a tutorial video. I'm not sure yet how to, but I'm gonna try and do a tutorial video for my Patreon on how to spin worsted weight singles. So if you're interested in that, check out my Patreon. And if not, don't. I hope you all have a wonderful time and enjoy everything you do. Bye.